Hey guys, on today's episode of Buds Mafia, episode 67, we will be breaking down the first round of the NHL Playoffs. We'll be doing our predictions of round two. Obviously, some games have already started, but we'll do our best to do some predictions. Edmonton getting upset. Montreal moving on. Buffalo, Montreal is going to be a fucking movie. We don't really talk much about the NFL, but we get into the PGA, as well as also, some Leafs talk with Chayka and Sundin getting hired in the moving forward, some moves that may need to get done with Matthews and Nylander and what they're looking at. And then we get to our picks, like I said, with the PGA, and we talk about the upcoming wedding for our good friend Jackson here. So go comment, like, subscribe. Let's get into the episode.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round!
Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5! Oh, the play of the year in the NFL!
Welcome back, everyone, and good morning. This is the Buds Mafia podcast, episode 67. A nice little Monday morning here. Big week for the boys. Jackson's busy. I'll be busy. Next episode, you'll be married.
Fucking nuts.
We got the rehearsal dinner on Wednesday. We got a little golf session on Friday. Then we got the big day on Saturday. We'll be talking a lot about the first round today, and then we'll recap the second round. Obviously, there's, I think, one game started, and the rest will start today. So when we do give our predictions, some of the series could be well out of hand, but that's okay. Because Colorado, Minnesota, we'll get to that game last night. I don't know how much of you watched of it. Carolina, attaboy. Carolina, Philly, I watched the night before my marathon. I'm happy it was kind of already done. It was 3-0, but it looked like it was over early on, so I went to bed. I went to bed at like 9 o'clock the night before because I had to get up at like 4:30. I didn't text you this, but I was as cold as I've ever been. It was like 0 degrees at the start, and I wore my old Insight green zip-up hoodie because what people do is they usually go to like Goodwill and get a hoodie and then like just throw it away, like midway, but like no, the sun was coming out. I get hot pretty easily, and I was like, okay, so right before the race I threw it out, and then it was 0 degrees for like half a marathon, and I was shaking. It was so cold.
Yeah, dude, it was freezing, especially down by the lake.
Yeah, and I will say, as marathons go, people don't know, I did a Toronto Marathon yesterday. It was pretty downhill. You start in North York and you just go down pretty much, and then
that's nice.
It was nice, and a lot of my family came. Caitlin came. Her parents came. I showed you the picture of the signs. That was funny.
The signs were awesome.
Yeah, they got a Buds and Pucks stuff on there. But yeah, a lot of hydration stations, which is nice.
We had the exact opposite weekends.
What'd you do? Just chilling, just do wedding stuff?
Nothing, dude. Yeah. Nothing. I tried to sleep as much as I could.
Yeah, smart.
I think I averaged last week 4.5 hours of sleep every night.
God, Jesus Christ.
And like I work Sunday to Friday. So I was gassed. And then Saturday morning I woke up and I was like, God damn, I do not want to take Millie to dog training. And then Sunday morning I woke up. I remember I wake up and I look at my phone. I woke up early. I woke up before you started the race and I meant to text you. And then I woke back up on the couch with Millie lying in front of me and my phone in my hand with it open to your contact. I opened my phone and it said, good luck. And that's when I sent the message.
I was going to text you back because I was still like midway through the race and I was like, I'm going to wait till I'm done. But yeah, it was the hardest. The half marathon went by pretty quickly. That part's pretty easy. But like, I would say the wall that they say is like 28 to 33 was probably the hardest. Cause it's like, hey, you're over halfway. But even when you hit 30 kilometers, like, hey, you still have 12, which is over an hour. Once I hit 35, I got a little emotional. I was like, okay, I'll be done soon. And that was nice. And then the actual like last few kilometers, you actually do go pretty fast. And there's a ton of people. Like there's 22,000 people, but that's total with the 5K, 10K half. Like the full marathon, I think like 600, or no, not 600, like 1,000 did it. Damn. I'll show you the.
Did you just fall? Good.
No, earlier it did, and I'm just trying to just prop up against my wall.
Oh,
it's heavy. It's heavy.
It should be.
People like
heavy for a light guy now, dude. Dude, the picture of you at the end of it with the fucking medal with your thumbs up, I was like, God damn, this guy's fucking skinny.
People texted me, yeah. I got to put on some muscle now. I'm weak as hell. I'm gonna make up a different schedule. I don't want to run. I still want to run quite a bit. I don't think I'm gonna be doing 70-kilometer weeks anymore. Like, I kind of want to do 3 to 5 as like a warm up than actually mix in weights because I'm weak as hell. So I'm gonna do that.
I kind of want to do the marathon next year now because I'm not gonna be getting married next year.
Yeah, that's true.
If all things go according to plan.
Do you want to actually? Yeah, then it'll be the week before your anniversary. So I actually don't feel too bad. Like I want to play hockey tonight, but we'll see about that. And yeah, the whole thing is that people are like, oh, I want to do this after. I want to eat this. I did not want to do anything. Like we did order pizza later on when I actually was feeling better. We had ice cream, but like I had a beer for the Montreal game, and I honestly didn't even really want it. Like I was like, I don't really want this beer, but I was just so cold. My body was still shaking. I was like, I just had water, but it was good. It was fun. I posted a video on my story saying, don't ever do a marathon because I was basically high off adrenaline. Then my Oma texted me saying, Ryan, why would you say that? You accomplished so much. I'm like, Oma, I'm just kidding. I was just kidding. I enjoyed it. But yeah, I'd probably do like once a year. Maybe I'll probably keep doing it. Like it was fun. Getting on a bus at like 5:30 was like a little bit cold and tiresome, but that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, no, it was good. Anything else to say? No, I mean, I'm down to get into the playoffs here. Before that, do you have a draft or dump? Actually, I'll start us off because actually I have a kind of funny one. I love him to death, and I'm a big fan of his, but in part of my recovery, I did not think late at night I would be beefing on Twitter with the RA from Spittin' Chicklets. Yeah, me and him had a little back and forth on Twitter.
Why?
I love RA. No, me and my brother, so he's so funny, but he is the worst tweeter and he hates being wrong, like, someone else like we know, of course, but still. And he's so vague sometimes. So we're going to get to Tampa, Montreal, but Kucherov has been getting a lot of like hate recently, right? Like just like I mean, in the past when they won their Stanley Cups, he was incredible. He had 30 points, but the last 4 years, he has 2 playoff goals in 23 games.
Yeah,
and people are tweeting it higher. People are tweeting it. And he's just like, he keeps retweeting that he has like the 10th best playoff points per game in history, what he's done. It's like, dude, and I tweet, I'm like, RA, it's fine to criticize a superstar. I've been doing it since I can remember. But yes, he's done incredible work, but you can't sit here and tell me the last 4 years, but they haven't gone the first round in 4 years, that he hasn't been subpar. Again, he's 2 goals in the last 23 games. And then I'll read you these texts. Like it's these not texts. I'm not texting RA. But again, he's just so vague and he knows he's wrong. So then he keeps being vague to avoid admitting that he's wrong. I said, Jesus, RA, it's okay to criticize superstar for being subpar in his last few playoff runs. He's been unbelievable in the playoffs in the past, but as of late, he's been mid. Like that's just facts. Yeah. And he says, if only he did that. I don't know what that means. That does not address the issue whatsoever. Then I said, so you're saying 2 goals in his last 23 playoff games isn't mid. Then he says, if you can't read, maybe. What is that referring to? It doesn't make any sense.
I think he watches the program and has seen you try to read some things. I've seen you try to read.
Then I say, classic RA, never admit to anything and hates being wrong. And then, so I was just, me and my brother texting back and forth. I'm like, I don't know what this guy's talking about.
That's so funny.
And again, I love RA, and he's had some issues in the past year. It's good to have him back. I like listening to his RA's World on Fridays, but he's a horrible tweeter. And it's again, Kucherov's a superstar, one of the best Russian players ever, but he's been so mid these last few playoffs.
Did you know RA was on Shorzy?
Yeah, he was like this Zamboni driver or something.
No, he's like a panelist for their version of ESPN or whatever.
Oh, sorry. He was I think he was a Zamboni driver on Letterkenny, which led to Shorzy, I think. But he was also
what's it called? Keep talking. I can hear you.
Yeah, but he was also he always mentions it. He was like a chef in the town, when the movie The Town. Yeah, I think so.
The movie The Town.
He was like a extra or something.
That's crazy.
But yeah,
have you ever seen that movie? That's a wild movie.
No, I want to watch it though. I heard it's really good. It's like an old school Boston gang or kind of yeah. How about you? What was or the last week? What do you got?
I'm not gonna lie, I can't really I haven't really been thinking too much over the last week.
That's good. We don't need you thinking right now.
No,
just relax.
I've been on autopilot. Yeah, I don't know. I
thought you froze, but you literally mentally you just froze.
No, I froze, dude. I've been even today. I woke up early. And I usually wake up early when I'm on afternoons. Obviously, over the last week I haven't really because I've been getting home early.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it. I don't know. It's kind of fun. You don't. There's no one there, and you just literally load trucks. So I enjoyed that. I don't know. The week of the wedding is very high stress.
Feels so real right now, or is it kind of you don't even
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's happening.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like I'm doing anything this weekend.
Were you Were you engaged before or after we started the podcast?
I was engaged before.
Before, yeah. So but it was like close after. I thought like it was only a few weeks into
I got engaged in September and we started the podcast in January. So
okay, so it was a few months. Yeah. It was a few months. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a draft that's got nothing to do with my wedding.
Good.
Shout out our I don't know. Julian Iomondo texted me yesterday, and I'll read you the text message because it was hilarious. Hey, chill, dude.
Millie's got something to say about Julian Iomondo.
She's driving me nuts. She pauses the screen, then she takes poop. Sick.
Nice.
Yesterday, I was out with Taylor, and I get a text message from a 947 number. I'm like, what the fuck? Who is that? And it's just Julian Iomondo. He goes, hey, pal, have you ever heard of something called pickleball? I go, yes, sir, I have. I said, new number? He said, yeah, do you recognize who this is? He said, I'm regarding to a possible pickling. Would you be intrigued in the idea of pickling around? I said, whereabouts would this pickling be happening? He said, good question. After extensive research, I have found and confirmed there are multiple pickleball courts within the Burlington area. And he said, so here's the thing. As life goes on, I realize many people are and I've lost many friends to the harsh life that comes with devoting hours to a pickle lifestyle. And whilst I'm making a sandwich today after the gym, I came to the quick realization that I once knew a man named Jackson Dick. I wanted to reach out and inquire about the possibility of going on a couple pickleball dates. Then we could become a pickleball duo.
There you go.
I've never been happier to receive a text message from a guy I haven't talked to in a year and a half about pickling.
I've always wanted to get more in the pickle. My brother played it a ton last summer. I do have my own like racket. I would love to get in the pickleball.
Okay, and now I am dumping Millie because she just took 3 massive shits.
You gotta poop.
God damn.
You just gotta poop.
So,
all right, do you want to get into this first round here?
Yeah, let me let her in first, and then we'll grab.
Go let her in.
I gotta close the fucking screen too. Now my apartment smells like shit.
Go inside.
Let's do it.
Let's get into Buffalo-Boston first. Like, I don't know. I know it was 6 games, but I feel like...
I might be a Sabres fan.
Dude, it was 6 games, but I feel like Buffalo was the better team, like, every second of this series. Like, they were just the better... Game 2, it was 4-0 Boston, so maybe that, but, like, Buffalo was just flat out the better team, like, the whole series. And
even in
they
overtime
had the chance,
in Game 5.
They were all over it, and then it was just a bad giveaway, and then a defensive turnover. Lindholm then moved it up to Pastrnak, and it was a disgusting finish.
Right,
that was disgusting.
Dude, that's the same goal he fucking absolutely beat the Leafs with on fucking a few years ago.
But then Game 6, like Boston at home in the playoffs is just an abysmal. And then I wrote this down, like Buffalo's D-core might be the best in the whole NHL. Like there's some great ones with Minnesota, Colorado.
Stanley was out.
Yeah, he's been out, but and he wasn't great at the end of the year, but he's a fucking monster back there.
Unit who can fucking absolutely push bodies.
Yeah. Like, they had the best D-core in the league. Like, Deline finally got on the board, and he's like a superstar. Like, he's a top 5 D-man. He'll be Norris guy every year. He's a candidate. Byram was probably their best defenseman throughout the series. I think he was like 5 points in 6 games, had a couple big goals. He's an incredible. And Owen Power, man, like, I know he went first overall. Is he probably first overall pick if you redid that draft? Like, definitely not. But, like, still, I mean, he can skate. He's big. He's getting more physical. He's a plus player. I think he had 4 points in the series. So, I mean, having that guy as like your third D-man, and then you have Samuelson, who was a plus 40 this year.
Yeah, that's wild.
Originally I was talking about what a horrible contract that was when he signed like this 7-year, $4 million or whatever it was a year, and it was looking bad. But then like he had like 12 goals this year, something like that. He's like 6'3", 200 pounds, and like that's your top 4. And then you guys have like Stanley, and you have Luke Schenn, who doesn't really play a lot, but you have the veteran Luke Schenn, you have Kesselring. I think has played a ton. But yeah, I mean, that D-core is insane. And like they can move the puck up. They're physical. And just Boston just feel bad for Pastrnak. Like that Kustadinov guy is decent, but they have no one really to play with Pastrnak because he is so nasty.
How about Nikita Zadorov playing since Game 3 with a torn MCL?
I call bullshit on that. Some of these injuries we can get into.
If you're gonna come out and say you tore your MCL, like
I don't know.
It better be torn.
I don't know. I haven't had serious knee injuries. Like, can you play hockey on a torn MCL completely off the bone?
Maybe not. Like I don't know. Maybe not super.
Obviously, they're on some heavy tour-it-all. Like,
but also,
they're on some shit.
Yeah, but also like you got to think these guys like.
I'm not calling them out. Like
it didn't make a ton of sense to me. But like even like I didn't completely tear. Like I tore my patellar tendon. I didn't completely tear, but it was like 50% torn, and I could still play.
Yeah.
So like. I don't know
You put a
about torn
brace
off.
on it, I'm sure, but like, yeah.
A brace, a bunch of painkillers. Plus, like, that's not the fastest guy who's going out there to fucking rip
Yeah.
around. It's like he's
Yeah.
going out there to lay the
And
body.
adrenaline too.
Stand in front of the fucking goalie and put guys' heads into the boards. Like,
Yeah.
there's one guy who can play on a torn MCL, I'm not
Yeah.
going to put it past him because he's not going out there to fucking absolutely rip around like McDavid.
No. But yeah, and like we'll talk at the end of game 6, fucking Benson. He just completely slew foots McAvoy. Benson's just like one of the most undercover rats in the whole league. But then that slash by McAvoy to Benson. Did you see that? That was crazy. Thank God Benson's okay. Like that could have been like a broken hand.
Straight after he hit him, well, it was close to his face. Straight after he hit him, Benson, biggest smile on his face. I'm like, God damn, you're a maniac, dude.
He is a rat. But like, I mean, Buffalo's moving on. First series win, and I think it's what was it like
20 years.
Was it 20 years? Holy
First
shit.
series win in 20 years. Yeah, I think
They're going to be playing Montreal in the next round, which is going to be a great series. We can get the Tampa Montreal right now. Montreal had a chance in Game 5 to win it at home. 1-0 loss. I think it was Goncalves or something scored the OT winner. Again, I think Game 5. Who scored? Game 5 was the win on the road against Tampa, where Gallagher scored in his first game after being scratched for fucking like 10 games or whatever it was. And Tampa, they definitely were missing Hedman. Like, I really like their decor, but not having that guy back there. Lane Hudson's probably been the best Montreal Canadian this whole series.
Dude, how
the fact
about
that they won this series without Suzuki and Caulfield really doing anything, or at least offensively.
Nothing offensively. And how about winning yesterday with fucking a total of 9 shots?
9 shots.
9 shots to 29.
Dobich was incredible. They had a chance to win it at home in Game 6. Demidov hasn't really gotten the board yet. I will say, though, he does dance around there. Like, he made some moves.
He's been playing a lot better. I was a little critical of him. Well, like, I don't know. He's still, like, a young kid who's going to learn. I was just surprised. Like, I get you want to get him in early, but it seemed like he's trying to do too much initially, but now it seems to be working. Especially as the series goes on, guys get tired. They're not going to fucking want to chase you all over the rink.
I can't believe I don't know if I liked that goalie interference call late in Game 6. Obviously, Montreal killed it, but you know what I'm talking about? It was like 2 minutes left. He drove the net. He dangled, I think he dangled like McDonough, and then he got bodied in the Vasilevsky, and he got 2 minutes goalie interference call. Those are tough ones. I think they kill it, but then Game 7, yesterday. I mean, who scored? Suzuki scored early, and then Suzuki scored the winner, I think. Yeah, he scored the second goal.
I thought it was it was Newhook.
Oh, it was Newhook. Sorry, Newhook. Yeah, so Suzuki finally gets on the board in Game 7. The great tip from Goalie. And I will say, like, Suzuki, offensively, maybe not on the stat sheet has been done too much. He's clearly the Selke winner. Like, what he does defensively, penalty kill. And he kind of is like a Kucherov. Like, he slows the game down. Like, we saw in the Olympics, he's not known for his blistering speed. Maybe that's why he didn't really work with McKinnon in the Olympics. But, like, he slows the game down. He's so good at, like, posting up at the blue line when he crosses over. And Slafkovsky, man, like, I know he had a big Game 1, maybe kind of tailed off in terms of production.
Really do much afterwards,
but he's still, man, his confidence from, like, year 1 to now is insane. Like, he'll go end to end.
Yeah.
And
he's only going to get better.
Caulfield's still shooting the puck. That's why we'll get to our season or round 2 predictions at the end. But I like Buffalo. But the fact that Montreal beat Tampa Bay with Suzuki and Caulfield, at least offensively, not really doing anything. Like, your 2 best players not really doing anything. And I mean, we just talked beforehand about RA and Kucherov. Like, Kucherov, Tampa's got to make some moves. I don't know what it is. On paper, everyone going to the playoffs loves them. They'll always have 100 points. And yes, like,
they're turning into
Kucherov
the
in the past has been, they're incredible in the past in the playoffs. And then last 4 years, I mean, 1 or 2 goals in 23 playoff games. And yes, like, again, he's had in the past, he's had 30 playoff seasons, back-to-back Stanley Cups. Like, I don't know, what have you done for me lately? Yeah. That's kind of what it is, right? I understand, like, RA was texting or tweeting, like, you know how hard it is to win a playoff round 4 years in a row? It's like, yeah, I mean, Leafs did it 9 years in a row without winning, basically, right? Like, I get that, but I'm not going to praise a guy for what he did in the past or what he's doing right now. Like, that's not, and Kucherov, he still was probably point a game, but I mean, this guy had 130 points this year, 150 points like last year. And he had some dumb penalties, fucking body language, like he had some dirty plays and just, I don't know. Like, the talent's obviously still there. He's definitely more of a pass-first type of guy. And at sometimes, I remember on the power play, he was just taking one-timer after one-timer because he was getting so frustrated. But yeah, something's going to happen in Tampa. Are they going to lose Radish? I don't know. Hagel is clearly their best player. I thought Gensel sneakily was very good. And Vasilevsky in the past playoffs hasn't done very well. He wasn't the issue. Like, 2 saves on like third. Yeah.
His goaltending, like he played well in the games where, like yesterday in that game, you allow 2 goals like that. They're not 2 greasy goals. You allow those 2 goals, you expect that you're going to win that game.
Yeah.
Like I know it sounds crazy, but in the playoffs, you can't really let many goals in. But like with an offense where you have Hagel, Point, like Sorelli, Kucherov, you have all of these guys who can put pucks in the net. And even like, what's his name, who played unbelievably well, who I didn't even really know, like Moser. Moser played really well.
He's unbelievable. He's so underrated,
and
dude. He's
to only get 1 goal in your high-powered offense, you could see John Cooper was frustrated on the bench.
Yeah. I will say, though, for Montreal having 9 shots, I don't think they actually played that bad. Second period, they didn't have a shot in the second period, but for a team with 9 shots, like, they just got a lot of things blocked. And actually, they were generating. They just kind of weren't finding the net.
I think it was just survive yesterday.
I
feel like Montreal was in Montreal. I feel like had an idea that they knew. In my opinion, Montreal was better. Like Montreal was the better team throughout the entire series.
Yes, I do too.
And I think it was just to survive. Like if we get a lead, then we're good.
Bear down, yeah.
And
having Dobson back too. I mean, it was unsure whether he'd be back or not. I thought he looked great.
Yeah, he did.
Like there were some chances. I think he like broke his hand or something. And so there's some plays where he was deking at the blue line, which I mean, deking when you came back from a broken hand can be very painful. And he looked solid. They took out Jack Guy, which I actually thought Jack Guy was having a pretty decent series for like a bottom or like a 6th pairing defenseman. But getting Dobson back was huge, and fucking Dobich. Dobich was probably their best player.
Dude, I thought they were gonna pump him in Game 6 only because like the Lightning came out. The Lightning came out and were just trying to score goals, and Montreal came out and just gave him the lumber from Shorzy.
Yeah.
It's like there's a famous Shorzy quote. It's like, first period, you give them the lumber. Second period, you score goals. Third period, you make sure they never forget who you are. And like, dude, I've never seen bigger hits in my life. And the Lightning had like no answers. Like, after the first period, I think the hits were 11-10, but you could remember every single one of the Canadians' hits. You couldn't remember a single of the Lightning's hits.
And people thought who were choosing Tampa. I think we both chose Montreal. I think we both chose Montreal in 7, right?
Yeah.
And
the only one we were different on was Kane Senders.
Yeah. And like people thought Tampa was going to bully Montreal, but Montreal didn't back down at all. Josh Anderson was a monster. When Gallagher came in, he provided an emotional spark, and Suzuki doesn't back down. Coffey's a little guy. He doesn't really back down. Late Hudson's not afraid. And now they're going to go up an even bigger test in Buffalo. So we'll get to that series prediction. Last Eastern series, because we talked about Carolina, Ottawa, it feels like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Philly. We'll talk about Philly versus Carolina in our second round, but like I don't think Philly has much of a chance. But you can't tell me this, obviously emotions-wise, this was a great series. Like a lot of fights, a lot of just kind of shit going on after the whistle. Both these teams stink. Like they don't look good. You can't tell me they look good. Like Vladar saved Philly for a lot of the season. Philly's power play has been absolutely horrible. And I was pretty confident Pittsburgh was going to win Game 6. I think this is going Game 7.
I thought it was too.
Yeah, and like Pittsburgh kind of steals Game 5. Seelov looked really good after Skinner got pulled, or at least didn't get the nets. Game 6, there's a goalie show. Vladar's second shutout of the series. I don't think he had a shutout all year, I think they said. And dude, I don't know what Cam York was thinking. He might have killed someone with that fucking stick. Like, you've seen it before. Like, Jack Hughes did the light toss up in the air.
Yeah.
Cam York just fucking
tomahawked.
He could have fucking killed someone. But, I mean, it was a great story for Philly. Again, like I said, we talked about Carolina, Philly after we get through the West, but that was not good hockey. You can't convince me that it wasn't good hockey.
No, it was
like it was terrible compared to what Carolina masterclass did on Ottawa. Like even though Ottawa got swept, I thought Ottawa played better than Philly and Pittsburgh.
Ottawa played unbelievable. Well, I mean, let's be honest. Hallmark played unbelievable.
Yeah, considering not having a lead and getting swept, like I thought, just Carolina smothered them. Like we talked about before, they just got absolutely smothered.
Too fast.
Let's get to the West. Dallas, Minnesota. I mean, huge win on the road in Game 5 for Minnesota. Boldy's fucking disgusting.
Unbelievable. I feel like ever since, he's always been good, but ever since the Olympic break, that's really boosted his confidence. Like that goal, that first goal in the gold medal game against Canada. Good.
Yeah.
God.
He's just a horse. Like he's so big and he's so strong. And I mean, did he make $7 million for like 5 more years? It's fucking nuts.
And with the way the cap's going.
Where the cap's going. But yeah, in Dallas, they just cannot score 5-on-5. Whenever Minnesota took a penalty, I'm like, hey, this is the only chance Dallas has. And then Minnesota cleaned up their penalty kill and cleaned up just getting penalties in general. Because in game 6, I mean, Hughes was insane. That first snipe was disgusting. And that second goal, I'm pretty convinced that he did try to hit it off that guy's skate. Like, I think he was looking at the whole time. And again, like, just Dallas just couldn't score 5-on-5. And Minnesota's been to a conference finals before, early on their franchise, like in 2003 or something. But that might have been the biggest win in their franchise history. Like, they haven't won a franchise. They haven't won a...
I mean, I think we both had Dallas.
We did. We both had Dallas in 7, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe you had him earlier, but I think I had him in 7.
Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe we underestimated Minnesota a little bit.
To be honest, I forgot that Hintz was out for Dallas. I kind of forgot about Hintz being out. That's a huge guy down the middle. So, and just Odger, man, I don't know what's going on. Like, in these playoffs, dude. Like, he just has not been... I'm not blaming, like, other things could have happened, but it wasn't his best, and Wallstead was incredible for Minnesota.
Well, if you can't score 5-on-5, it's a problem.
No, and
you're asking too much of your goalie.
Quinn Hughes was awesome, and Minnesota they also just beat the shit out of Dallas. Like, Marcus Foligno is a killer. Like, he is an absolute killer. Michael McCarron is a monster. Nick Foligno has turned back the clock. I think he's looked great. Not having Eriksson Ek for the next 2 games for Minnesota is tough. You saw that with allowing 9 goals the other day. He's a very big defensive forward, but yeah, I mean,
that's what
huge win for Minnesota.
Yeah,
and we knew that now you go through a 6-game war, and I have to play Colorado, who got a pretty clean 4-game sweep. But yeah, I don't know if we have anything else on that. We can get to the series that I didn't really watch a ton of with Vegas, Utah. I didn't watch it just because of the timing.
We can talk about Martin.
Yeah, fuck, man. So game 4, like Utah, this is very similar to Vegas, Minnesota last year we talked about. Minnesota had so many chances to close out that series or take a lead of that series, and Vegas would just, their experience would come back and win this game. Same thing with Utah. You saw the inexperience. Like, Utah was leading the game like 3-0 at one point, I think game 4 or 5.
Well, dude, in game 5, you can't fucking allow a shorthanded second period overtime winner.
You can't, and it's like I'm saying, it's just they showed the experience. Stone was probably their most consistent player throughout the whole series for Vegas. Like, Mark Stone was incredible. But yeah, I mean, Mitch Marner, it sucked to wake up to see that I saw his first 2 goals. I'm like, I'm going to fucking bed. Like, I don't want to watch this fucking guy win a fucking series. But he was probably their best player. Like, 7 points in 6 games. He was a +5. He had a power play goal, 2 power play assists. He averaged almost 22 minutes a game for Vegas. He was great on the penalty kill. And yeah, fuck, he wins a series his first year with Vegas.
But like, imagine like you put Toronto in that same situation and they're down 2-1, and Marner not really performing like crazy. The media is all over him, and I don't think he gets back into it. Whereas like you're in Vegas, dude, fucking what people.
What did I just say? I just said, like, I didn't really care for this series.
Exactly.
Like, as people think. They don't know, like, the series was awesome. Like, watching the highlights, like, Gunther was awesome. The young talent for Utah was awesome.
Utah's going to be great.
They are going to be great. We just talked about how we didn't really care much of this series. If that was Toronto, like, not obviously we're Leaf guys, but even national media, it would be a lot bigger. So going into it, I was just like, oh, Marner's going to collapse again. But it really is just, there is a lot of pressure. I'm not saying he's not feeling pressure out in Vegas, but like we just said, I didn't care much for the series. And I feel like a lot of people probably felt that, especially in Canada.
Yeah.
Where if that was Toronto, it's a different story. So gotta give him a little bit of praise. Sucks, but he did. He was the best player. But yeah, Vegas, Anaheim. We'll get to Edmonton, Anaheim now. Just poor McDavid.
Dude,
get this guy a fucking goalie. Get this guy some
had
help.
Emerson.
I don't know what's going on. I don't think he'd come on. He blamed me for the loss for some reason. I think we talked about that last time. Remember I told you that as soon as they lost, he's like, as soon as you cheer for Edmonton, they lose, you stop cheering for Edmonton. I was like, fuck you. I will say, though, game 5, me and my brother were texting about this. Edmonton might be the best team ever, like, on the brink of elimination. Like, obviously didn't show it in game 6, but when it was against Florida, they're so good. And then, like, their big guys showed up in game 5, and then game 6, Anaheim was too much. Like, Carlson and Gauthier are studs. Chris Kreider was incredible. And by the way, Dostal was crap. Both goalies were not horrible. Well Anaheim just scored more. And, I mean, Lacombe he kind of put his name on the map, but he had like 10 points in that series. He was incredible. He shut down McDavid for as good as someone can shut down a guy like
fucking
McDavid.
Like 10 points in that series.
I know.
You got games that are 6-4, fucking 7-5. Like,
and, like, fuck, I mean, McDavid fracturing his foot in game 2 isn't great.
not great, but still.
I'm sure it was a hairline fracture. I'm sure, like, kind of with the Zadorov thing, how serious are these injuries? But I mean, a player like McDavid, he was game time decision for game 5, but he was always playing that game. Maybe doctors were saying it's game time, but he was always playing that game. I wrote down here, will he be on the Oilers next season? Like, he definitely will, but it is
Getting
very interesting now, and they don't have a lot to work with. They don't have their next 2 first-round picks. And their press conference, both McDavid and Draisaitl were very, very honest. Like McDavid, I think right after the game said, we were an average team all season. And when you're an average team going to playoffs, you're not. There were such high expectations, but there were such high expectations for an average fucking team.
I like what
they were
Draisaitl
just
said.
average.
It's like how long can you have the best player in the world and not get there?
Yeah. Like he was, again, it was very honest. Like you can see the frustration. He's like, hey, we have 2 more years with this guy, and who knows if he's. I can't remember if he actually said like, who knows if he'll be here in 2 years.
Yeah, he said who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, and it's just like the fact that they haven't gotten a goaltender. I know it's easier said than done. Like it's we're not in the battle, we're not in the war room. I understand that, but you trade a first for Connor Murphy and Jason Dickinson, who are very solid defensive guys, which really helped or were looking to help because that was their big issue. Yes, goaltending was an issue, but there are also defensive aspects and schemes were one of the worst in the league. Right, so you get 2 top defensive center and a defenseman, but really like it's goaltending and. You're saying you're going to trade like a future first in 2 years for those types of guys when get a fucking goalie. I know like who's trading like goalies on the market, but like we've seen what Binnington can do in big moments. Go get fucking Binnington. Go get someone out of these goalies. It's just it's so
even
so
when
frustrating.
fucking it's like Swayman and Ullmark, and you knew one of them was going to leave. Go get Ullmark.
Yeah, like it's
go get
you're gonna go trade for fucking Tristan Jarry, and yes, you can probably look back and I probably praise the trade because I just thought Skinner was not the guy. And by the way, Skinner was pulled in that Pittsburgh series and they did lose, so it's not like he was the answer. You know what I mean? So but like, it's just bad decisions. Stan Bowman, I'd be shocked if he's still in the team next year. Like, you need some management, and they're in a tough spot, similar to Toronto. You don't have a lot of assets. You don't have a lot of picks. You have 2 years with this guy. And also, like, just because he signed 2 years doesn't mean he'll be there for 2 years. Like, maybe he signed 2 years because maybe it's easier to be traded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you sign a 1-year deal, it wouldn't be as hard to trade. I mean, people are still going to want to pay the bag for McDavid, but it's like, hey, now it's like, if Edmonton's dog shit, kind of similar situation with Matthews. Like, you have 2 years left, it's easier to trade. That's why Quinn Hughes' value is so high. They got like basically 4 first-round picks because he has 2 more years. Or sorry, now he has 1 more year, but you know what I mean? He basically almost got the full year of Hughes in Minnesota. And I'm here with Elliot Friedman, and he's likely going to resign a long-term. So that's such a big, valuable asset. And just not getting that fucking guy a goalie in all this time. And it's going to be hard to bounce back. We'll see. I mean, going to playoffs, I didn't hate their roster makeup. Like, Hyman was kind of a non-factor. Just a lot of their depth guys. Podkolzin's really good. I really like Podkolzin ever since he came over from Vancouver. I like his game. But yeah, man. Like,
Hyman was battling.
It's not looking good.
Hyman was battling.
He's always battling
too,
something.
You know what I mean?
But like, something, yeah.
It's still, like, at the end of the day, it's hard not to agree with what Draisaitl said. You know, like, for as much as Edmonton fans and everyone will say that, oh, McDavid never wants to leave, this is his home, blah, 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 blah. Like, you get to a point where you're the best player in the world and you're getting compared to, these amazing players who have come before you. All of these guys have rings. All of these guys have cups. Yeah. And there's only so much these guys can do by themselves. Like, yes, you're talking about a different era in hockey as well with, all these other guys where, you could say maybe it was easier for a guy to carry a team. But I mean, look at what McDavid has done in Edmonton, or look at what all these other superstars have done. McKinnon in Colorado, now they're obviously surrounded by tons of talent, as the players who came before them were as well. But like, you're going to get fed up and frustrated. Yeah. Yes, he might be. I was talking to my one buddy at work. I was like, you might consider him as one of the most, like, I would say probably one of the most humble kind of superstars there is, where he's not constantly talking about himself. And I think that's just
like
also,
Allen, you know what I mean? Like, just
I think that's the nature of hockey as well. It's like, there's a lot more aspect of the team culture. Whereas like you look at football and stuff, you got superstars who are going to make it known they're superstars and who are going to be divas. And I'm not saying that's not the case with hockey, but I think, like, considering what he could do like, and how he could be like, no, fuck you. He never really does. But there's a point where you get frustrated, man. Like, you've been to the Cup finals last 2 years. Now you get bounced in the first round to a team who, I mean, we both said at the beginning of the year we liked Anaheim's roster and like what we could do. Did I see them bouncing Edmonton in 6?
I had
No.
Edmonton sweeping. I think you had them in 5. Like, it's just, I was like, there's no way. David losing first round, I'm like, no fucking way. Like, Anaheim might put a hard on them because, like, these young guys have talent and they're just excited to be back in the playoffs. But I think it was going to be, this was embarrassing. Like, embarrassing. And if I'm Stan Bowman, if he's still around, like I'm looking at so many teams. I'm looking at Colorado. They have 2 phenomenal goaltenders. I don't care what first or something. You got to trade and get one of them. Montreal, Dobich has been incredible. They have Jacob Fowler, the top prospect, coming in. Call them. Minnesota, you have Wallstedt and Gustafsson, 2 guys. Go get one. Like, it's just, and I understand that it's scary because McDavid's gone in 2 years and maybe he is, and you're scared to trade a future pick because if McDavid's gone, you're dog shit. But that's just the risk you got to take.
Yeah, but if you don't
get him a goalie. Toronto, you have 2 goalies.
If you don't go and take a fucking risk, then what's the point?
And also, if you also show to McDavid, like, hey, I'm trading a 2030 pick to get you a goalie because this is kind of bullshit that we haven't done it yet. And McDavid's like, you know what? They'll put in the work still. Like, we're gonna figure this out. He might resign. Yeah. But like right now, it's embarrassing, and I feel bad for him. But you know what? Maybe a longer break this offseason will help him out. And he's a fractured foot, but I'm sure he can bounce back from that easier. But I don't have anything else if you want to get into the round 2 kind of predictions here.
No, let's get into it.
So Carolina, Philly, I kind of already teased it earlier. Carolina dominant game 1, just 3-0. Did exactly what they've done this whole playoffs. Again, but this for the whole predictions. We're filming this on Monday. This video is going to come out later on in the week or whatever, so things can change. I think this is max 5 games, Carolina. I think this can even be a sweep. Yeah. I think Philly can seal one at home. It's hard to go 8-0 in the playoffs, but like we said earlier, you can't tell me you watched that Pittsburgh Philly series and thought those were 2 good teams. Those teams looked horrible.
That series was also a war too, and Carolina's been done for fucking like a week and a half. So it's like, Philly's
which can be a good or a bad thing in terms of getting out of the field, but like they're just such professionals, and that
so
line of
fast.
Hall, Stankoven, and Blake, they're flying out
and
there.
Stankoven is on probably the fucking heater of all heaters right now. This guy is like,
he's incredible,
ripping the puck. That
Blake
deal
too,
looks insane now.
3, it's a great team for every team. Like I posted the other day, like it's a great team, great deal for every team. And yeah, dude, like Philly, great story. They have some great guys coming up. But to me, Vladar has stolen them a lot of games. And I think I'll say gentleman sweep. I'll say 5. But again, like you said, you can't tell me you watched that Pittsburgh Philly series and thought Philly played well. Or both teams played well. And Carolina,
I've got Carolina in 6. I could see Philly taking 2.
Yeah, okay. Like I can see.
I feel like you could see like a Zegras kind of 2-point legacy game, and then I don't know.
I can see Carolina winning. I can see Carolina winning both at home. Philly stealing game 3, first game at home is going to be crazy. Round 2, Carolina winning game 4, so 3-1. Then Philly making it 3-2, and then game 6 on the road because Carolina can shut it out on the road. Yeah. But yeah, I think we both have Carolina there. Buffalo, Montreal. This one's tough. I have Buffalo in 7. I think they played phenomenal against Boston. Like game 2 was kind of like a wash. But at the end of the game, I think they played great. Maybe they just couldn't find that scoring touch. But Lyon's been incredible since he stepped in for Uka. And Montreal, man, what's scary about Montreal is, like I said, they beat Tampa in 7 games without their top stars really scoring. I mean, Lane Hudson was awesome. Slafkovsky had a hat trick in game 1. Caulfield, I think, has 1 goal. Suzuki got his first goal. And like I said, defensively and actually creating plays, Suzuki's looked great. Caulfield's had chances. Like, if those guys can find their game offensively more, that's a bit scary for Buffalo.
I think this one, to me, comes down to the goaltending. Like, if Dobich can play the way that he played in Game 7.
And same thing with Lyon. If they can keep continuing what they've been doing.
Then it really is just who's going to perform. I think Thompson and those guys are already kind of buzzing. And I feel like for as well as Suzuki, Caulfield, and whatever, like they played throughout the regular season, playoffs are just a different game. And I think they're going to find their groove. I think they kind of have started to find their stride, but then you're going from Tampa, who's kind of took, like I think we talked about it, they took Florida's mentality of like just kind of try and bury them, and it didn't work awesome because Montreal also is like big body with Jack Guy. Even Texier played fucking unreal.
Played great, yeah.
But I think that this is going to be a battle of like the decors and goalies. Like, it's going to be whose offense can put, but pucks are going to go in the net. Like these are two teams who can score. It's just really going to be their their decor and how they can, stop the break-ins, and then what goalie's going to come up big. I got Buffalo in, I want to say 7, but I wanted to say 6. I think I'll go 7.
Yeah, I got Buffalo in 7. We'll get to my lock of the week, but I think game 1's going to be, I think both goalies are really good. I think game 1 could be like a 6-5 game. I think it's just going to be an excitement game in Buffalo with a lot of goals, I think a
lot of these series are going to, other than maybe Carolina, Philadelphia, but I think like a lot of these series in the second
Vegas,
round,
Anaheim, that's going to be 6-5 every game.
Yeah, that's going to be very high scoring.
Yeah. So yeah, we both have Carolina, both have Buffalo. Colorado, Minnesota, game 1 happened last night.
Yeah,
did not expect a 9-6 final. And this is a Makar versus Hughes series. Both guys are, like, I think it's so evident that they're the top 2D in the league. Like, yes, like Werenski might win the North, Bouchard might win the North, and North isn't like who really is the best defenses, who had the best season, kind of who and all that. And yeah, you could probably say Werenski and Deline and Bouchard, but like it's clear these two are the best defense in the league. Like Makar left with an injury, but he came back. I think he had like a sore groin or hip or something. He ripped. Hughes is just, I don't think I've ever seen a guy more confident with the puck at the blue line. He'll be the last man, and he'll be fucking spin-a-ramming guys. Like, he is nuts. And Marcus Foligno's been a menace. Amount of guys he's injured or like at least like hurt or taken out. Like he took out Makar yesterday, but then he came back. He's taken out a few guys on Dallas. Yeah, that's going to be a war. Minnesota's the toughest team in the league, but can they keep up with the speed of Colorado? Like McKinnon was flying last night.
Yeah, McKinnon looked like
he was flying. Yeah.
Because even the Kings series, like Colorado looked good, but they didn't look great.
No, like I thought LA, not only looked good, but I mean, like again, besides the last game, each game was like a 1-goal game.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't expect that from Wedgwood. Wedgwood was lights out against LA, but again, Minnesota has a lot better offense than LA. But I have Colorado in 6 in this series. I do think I could go 7, but I don't know. I think Colorado's high-powered offense. I think Wedgwood will find out his game. I think Wallstead's looked great, but he's only 23 goalie. We played great against Dallas, but I just think the offense of Colorado will be too much. I do think this series can be like 5-4 most games, and Makar and Hughes doing their thing. And by the way, Colorado's power play, I think they had 2 power play goals last night. If they can get their power play going after we've talked about it, that's huge for them.
I agree.
Minnesota, they are tough, but they can't take a lot of penalties because they play on that edge. Yeah. But yeah, I like Colorado in 6.
I got Minnesota in 7. Ooh. I really do like Colorado.
Yeah, I like Minnesota. I definitely can see Minnesota win this series.
I feel like just coming off of that series, I don't think a lot of people saw them getting past Dallas. And
we both said Dallas, I think.
Yeah, we both. I think you said Dallas, and I said Dallas in 6. You said Dallas.
I said Dallas in 7. Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is going to be a hard series. It's going to go back and forth. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they split in Colorado, they split in Minnesota, and then just back and forth.
Yeah, I think it'll be a split both ways, and then it's just whoever wins that game 5, which will be game 5 at home for Colorado, right? So then it's a new series. But yeah, all right, I like that. And then last one, Anaheim, Vegas. I like Anaheim. In the series. Maybe it's the Marner discourse, but again, I think Anaheim, they didn't really show their youth. And even though they do have some veterans on there, like Troy Terry, John Carlson, Trouba, Kreider looked awesome. Alex Killorn looked really good. And again, Vegas, like they don't look great, but they just show their experience and they come back and they stay poised in those crucial moments, right? Yeah. Like scoring shorthanded, tying it late. And they've tied it late so many times against Utah. So I like I like Anaheim. I'm going to say Anaheim in 6. I can see Anaheim winning game 1. And I can see a split, then Anaheim winning game 5 on the road and 6 at home. But yeah, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game or high-scoring games. Dostal hasn't looked great. I think he can kind of show maybe a little bit better, but I don't know. Hasn't looked great. Carter Hart has looked horrible. So yeah, I think this is going to be very high-scoring games. But yeah, I got Anaheim in 6.
Yeah, I got Anaheim in 6 too.
Let's go. Yeah, well, my lock of the week, I mean, we'll talk about, like, I have the over in the Buffalo Montreal game 1. It's 5.5. Like, I mean, I do like, I think I could be a 4-3 game, 3-3 heading into overtime. I don't think when these two young teams haven't been in the playoffs in a while, or at least as consistently like Montreal and Buffalo's been in a while, I think just kind of let them loose. And both goalies are still inexperienced. I do think it can be a very high scoring game. So I have the over at 5. A bit more Leafs talk we can get to, unless you want, if you had anything else to say, Anaheim, Vegas, or anything else in the second round. So big news. This was seemed like they're heading this direction the last few weeks in terms of management. But Sundin is hired to the Leafs as the senior executive advisor to the team, and John Chayka is a new GM of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here's my thoughts on it. Love the Sundin move. Yes, I think people are saying, is this too nostalgic? But I will say, it's like we've said before when hiring a GM, it's not all about the GM. It's about having a round table, right? Yeah. That's why I didn't want Chris Pronger as a GM, but I kind of wanted him around because he's been there. I think it's great to have analytics. That's the new era of the game we're heading into. But also, you kind of need experienced guys. And Sundin, he's never had a front office role before, but he's talked so much. I think he said recently that he said guys aren't proud to be a Maple Leaf anymore. And that's kind of sad to hear. So he knows it, and he's going to bring that passion back and kind of talk to these players. But I think it's good to have that in there. And I don't think he would have came back if he knew that he was going to get micromanaged the whole time, right? Because he's moving his family from Sweden to Toronto. I don't think he would have taken it if he's like, if I have to fucking listen to Keith Pelly every day, I'm not taking this fucking job. You know what I mean? So I don't hate that role. Again, no front office role, but he's had some management with Team Sweden in the past for, World Juniors or World Cups, whatever it's been. So John Chayka is a bit more of the controversial one. He graduated from Western. He went to Western. Dude, he became GM at 26. So a year older than us. Or basically, we're going to be turning 26 in a few months here. At least I am. And you are too. Are you June or July? I forget. July, yeah. So we're basically, if we were turning GM, this is kind of nuts. So there's some controversy about him. So they made the playoffs one year, but right the day before the playoffs, for Arizona, he resigned. He got suspended by Gary Bettman because he was assumed that he was maybe doing some tampering, trying to find other jobs or anything. So he was suspended for that. He hasn't been a GM since. So he hasn't been a GM since his role in Arizona. So 5 or 6 years. The Chayka and the Coyotes were also revealed to have they hosted those private scouting combines for players. That's when they had to forfeit their first and second round pick a few years back. And him and his wife right now, they owned 61 Wendy's franchises since then. So he hasn't really been in the game. But again, Keith Pelly said he wanted to hire an analytics guy.
You got it.
You got one. And again, I think it's just, I wouldn't have liked the role if they didn't bring Sundin in as well. So I'm okay with it. I would have loved that white guy from Dallas. He was assistant GM to Jim Nill, who was known to be the best GM in the league.
His last name's White, yeah?
Yeah, not the white guy. Yeah. As soon as I said it, I'm like, I feel like Jackson thought this the other way. But yeah, I would have liked that. They asked to speak to Brisebois of Tampa. I knew Tampa was shutting that down.
Yeah.
I thought that was obvious. But yeah, I don't know. I don't hate the moves. I like the Sundin. They wanted an analytics guy. They got one. He's been out of the game for a while. Let's see. I still think Berube will be the coach. I heard the Twitter right now is going crazy of John Cooper to Toronto or Edmonton, which is kind of funny.
Imagine.
But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's too nostalgic for Sundin, or do you like that move? Do you think it's too much of an analytics guy, or do you kind of like the whole round table of them two together?
I already told you how I feel about this man. His name's a little tough for me to look at and say, I'm not going to lie. Chayka
or Chayka? I'm not sure.
All right. I don't know. If the analytics way that he wants to go, then it seems like he's the right fit. I saw a lot of things of people saying that you should be worried if that's the one they're going to bring in. I feel like bringing Sundin in is also good. I feel like that's a storied voice that needs to be heard around the team. I think he's right in the fact that people aren't proud to be a Maple Leaf. But yeah, I don't know. I think for as much as it starts with the GM, I think it starts from the ground up with the players. You got to buy in.
Yeah,
and
100%.
You can say that the players are bought in, but I think towards the end of the year, last year, obviously the way that things were going, I think Berube's coaching style wasn't going to waver or change considering whether they were in the playoffs or not.
Yeah.
And I think some guys just, I don't know. You got to hate to lose. Again, quoting Shorzy, but I feel like the boys don't hate to lose, man.
No, I agree. And there's also another thing. Matthews and Nylander, their end of the season interviews, they talked to management, and I don't know if it's Berube or whatever. They both said they think this is a one-off. Like we've said multiple times, they do think this team can do it, but they do think there is some things that they still need. Like they said, they need more dogs up front, which hopefully puts the Nyes rumors to bed because that's one dog, and they don't trade a dog. You know what I mean? So hopefully that's kind of puts that to rest. And they both said they need more puck-moving defensemen, which I completely agree. We're not creating much offense from our blue line. Morgan Riley's getting old. I like McCabe. I like OEL, but these guys are getting old. We need more puck-moving guys who can run a power play. There's not a lot of options out there, free agents-wise, like Darren Radish, the guy from Tampa Bay. Does Tampa Bay bring him back? I think it'd be crazy if they don't, but Is he a guy that Leafs can entice over? I think he is an Ontario kid. Bring him in. Hopefully not at a crazy deal. Obviously, John Carlson. We saw what he did in his he's been an offensive defenseman his whole career.
Yeah.
Been looking great in Anaheim. Really want to sign a big market like Toronto near the end of his career. I don't know. But
I think when you look at the way the East panned out this year, like everyone, like we talked about the East a lot. And considering the teams that are in the playoffs and the teams that are making pushes right now, like when the Leafs are playing at their best, like you put them up against a lot of these teams, I don't see how they don't get through.
Yeah, I know.
And that's a little bit of bias from us, but like, I mean, even last year, they get past Florida, you play Carolina, and Florida just whooped Carolina. You know what I mean? Like, I think the East, for as tough as it is to get in, like, these teams are tough teams. You make the playoffs for a reason. Like, Buffalo's a tough team. Montreal's, like, I think the team that would give the Leafs a run for their money if they were playing like they were last year in this playoffs would be Montreal. I don't even think Tampa. Tampa did not play the way that you thought. I thought they were going to, at least.
No, I didn't know. Definitely
and
not.
Montreal has kind of got that. I mean, it's just that fucking city, man. They fucking are buzzing. So, yeah, I don't know. I think you need to bring in enough guys that it takes a little bit of pressure off Matthews. If you go back to looking at what his 69 goal year looked like, yes, he was scoring all the time, but you also had pieces that were adding in everywhere and pieces that were scoring and putting up points, and you didn't have guys that were playing at fucking negative 18s all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have that 24/7, and people can blame it on we moved off Marner, but you know, I think it goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the year. They never found an identity. I think there was so much media surrounding the fact that it was Marner that it really wasn't Marner. It was you moved off of one player who, yes, that's a 100-point player through the regular season, but you can find your identity after that. And I think Berube wanted them to find that kind of fuck you mentality, like go in there, take over a building, whether you're at home or on the road. And I think like that's another thing that we need as well is like you need like we talked about this a ton, but you know, you need fucking the cost of entry and shit for these fans, for teams to buy in. Like you look at the Bell Center, even fucking like the Senators Arena, like look at these arenas during the playoffs. It's fucking nuts. And I'm not saying that like when we're in the playoffs, it's not. But at the same time, the cost of entry is fucking ridiculous. And I mean, the cost of entry everywhere to get into a playoff game is ridiculous. But
at least make it worth it. Like I don't want to see my team does not give a shit. I'm making $600 for a playoff ticket or a regular ticket. I don't want to fucking watch my team just bend over and not give a shit.
Yeah.
There's no point.
So
no, I agree. All right, that's kind of it for our hockey talk. We don't really have much from the NFL right now, but maybe we can come up with some more content later in the summer, kind of get into training camp, stuff like that. I don't know if he's out thinking about Mendoza. If the White House visit kind of goes into the same training camp thing, he says he's going to not go to the White House. I kind of like what he said. He's like, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. I don't care where I was drafted. I'm a rookie, and I just cannot just say, like, hey, guys, I'm going to this. I know it would be a huge honor. I'm sure Seam wouldn't care that much, but I kind of liked his response, and he knows kind of where he sits right now. A little bit of golf. Cameron Young took home, the Cadillac.
I saw
unbelievable.
I saw a thing, though, that was like, maybe the Cadillac shouldn't have been a signature event, because now you got two signature events back-to-back, and there was fucking no one there. But it was a crazy finish. Like, he played unreal and played really well. But
now you got the Truist this week at Quail Hollow, where the PGA Championship was last year. I think McIlroy, Rory will be in it this week.
Yeah,
it's a massive. I can't remember if it's you won last week, so we're 6-8 now. Do you pick first? Or do I pick first? I keep forgetting.
I pick first.
Okay.
You pick first.
Go ahead. I already know who I'm going to pick. If you don't pick. It was pretty close. We actually were pretty even, but I think who was your best guy? I think
Alex Noren tied 7th.
Yes. That's kind of what took it. And Aldrich actually finished 15th. Everything else was pretty tight, but yeah. All right. What do you got?
I got, the signature events are now tough.
Yeah, I know.
I'm taking Justin Thomas. I think so. I think I have. I'll take Justin Thomas.
Nice. Actually, I'm not going to pick this guy yet. I don't think you're going to pick him. I picked him yet. I have not. Give me Adam Scott.
God damn it.
Absolute stallion.
Give me Nikolai Højgaard.
You know what I got? His first PGA event, he came top 10 after getting his card a few weeks ago. Give me Alex Fitzpatrick. That's pretty sick. Like he gets his, you say you don't or you do?
I said I like it, yeah.
Yeah, like his first start, he wins $550,000. Pretty nice.
That is pretty nice.
All right, last pick here.
You know what? Maybe he's due. I don't think I've taken him either. Take Tony Finau.
Ooh, Tony.
He's either going to get cut or finish in the top 15.
Yeah, give me, I'm seeing if I've picked him. I don't think I have. Give me Ryan Fox.
All right. For the Truist Championship, another signature event, Ryan's got Adam Scott, Alex Fitzpatrick, and Ryan Fox. I've got just Thomas, Nikolai Højgaard, and Tony Finau.
Ooh, we got the PGA Championship next week.
Yeah.
At Aron. Heard of that? Have you?
Well, if you could say it right, I might tell you, but
That's true. All right, fair enough. Aron and
Aronimink. No, I never heard of it.
This is in Pennsylvania.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her. All right, man. Let's wrap it up. I already said my lock of the week. I got the over in Game 1 of Buffalo Montreal on Wednesday, and I'll give you my farm. What was my? It's the Wednesday games. I got Sabres money line, Tage anytime with Tage also 3+ shots. Caulfield anytime in that game as well. Then give me Ducks money line, Cutter Gauthier anytime with John Carlson. Sorry, no, Leo Carlson 1+ assist.
All right. My lock is Marner 2 shots and Anaheim money line. And then my lock is Tage a point, Sabres money line, Tage anytime, Caulfield 1 shot, because anytime I bet him over 2 shots, it never hits.
Caulfield 1 shots? Dude, absurd.
Dude, anytime I've bet
diabolical.
I've bet him Caulfield 2+ shots the last 3 games, and it's never hit. And I also have Ducks money line, Marner 2 shots, Marner a point, Eichel anytime.
All right, man. That was a good episode there. Next episode, you'll be married.
Yes, sir.
We're probably going to record on Monday just because, I don't know, so we're feeling Monday. Sunday's also Mother's Day. I don't know what your plans are. If Sunday works better, we can do Sunday.
We'll probably have to do Sunday. I leave at 6 a.m. on Monday to the Cancun.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, sir.
We'll do Sunday night then. That's a lot easier, actually. Yeah, go check out Buds and Pucks on Instagram, TikTok, and X. And also YouTube. I don't know if you've looked at our YouTube. So by the time this comes out, I posted a video. Go check it out of Brady Tkachuk trade packages, and the thumbnail is Brady Tkachuk hopping on an airplane with fans booing him.
I love it.
And like the Parliament buildings in the background.
Jesus.
But also YouTube. The recent worst contracts video almost got 17,000 views.
Boom.
And we're almost at 200 subscribers. That video almost got us 50 subscribers. So we're almost at 200. We're at 191. I think last episode we filmed, we were at like 140.
We are 154.
Oh yeah, and views on our last podcast did very well too. So appreciate that, guys. And for people who said, why was there this screaming noise in the background at certain points of the last video? It was this music I put in. And I did notice it, but I kind of liked it at certain times. And maybe my volume when I was editing wasn't as loud. So people were like, it's so loud. But I apologize. Check out the YouTube. Go comment, like, subscribe. We got to 200. I'd love to get, end of the summer, if we get at least to 500, then we can get to like the sponsorship program and get some other tools on YouTube. That would be awesome. We've been looking for partnerships for a long time now. We're starting to finally hit our groove. So go comment, like, subscribe. Go follow us on Spotify as well. And yeah, Jackson, we'll see you when you're a married fucking man.
Boom.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round!
Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5! Oh, the play of the year in the Anaheim